Hello, we are live. Eventually, we got there in the end, hey? We got there in the end from Indianapolis. Season 6, round 1 of XSLR is live. We are underway. Oh, well, what a season it is going to be. Taking in 8 rounds, road and oval in the LMP2. Something a little bit different. And let's kick things off tonight, of course, with the iconic Indianapolis, the Brickyard. What a place to be. Home to the Indy 500. It's frightening the amount of stuff you can fit inside this place. It's something like the grounds of Buckingham Palace, half of downtown Manhattan. It all fits inside here. And then there's still room to spare. I think banging a couple of extra Olympic-sized swimming pools to boot too. But let's get stuck into qualifying. Enough of my meanderings, enough of my rantings. You see Thompson just heading to the top of the timing sheets there with his first lap. Well, the newcomer, Sean Hayes. He's up into third there, fractionally off. Which is to be expected in ovals, though, isn't it? Always to be expected. Close times, up and down through the field. Who's going to take the first pole position of the year? And I can tell you, Randall McGrew's on an absolute flyer. You see from the screen, just down the bottom there, that purple denotes he's gone faster than anyone else in that first sector across only 2 on ovals. As he comes across the time beam, well, that's going to be good enough for pole as 2 purple sectors. Displacing Thompson from that pole position. DiPiero knocked down to the second row of their grid. But, ooh, hello, Mr. Bobby Ross, just cheekily sneaking one in there. On his first lap as well. 5 thousandths of a second faster than McGrew. Well, that don't look like the best of exits, though, off of turn 2. And is Ross done and dusted with it? He could have gone again. No, it's just deceptive. Just deceptive there. Shankler's on a good blue lap. He's improved in sector 1. Well, I think he's out of the lap, so he's going to remain down in 6th place. Third row of the grid for him. Languishing by his own standards down there. What could Ross do? Well, there's no improvement in sector 1. I think there's no surprise of any of us there, but even so, that's all he needed. That's all it took. For little old Bobby Ross out of Florida. 1 lap, that's all he needed. Get himself on pole. We've got Ham coming across the line. What can he achieve? So he goes green in sectors 1 and 2, but only good enough for 7th. Having his first time deleted. My Creaky Chair even getting in on the app there. It loves it. It can't wait to be part of the action here at Slow Motion Broadcasting. Myself, Tim Cox. I'll be with you for the entirety of the season. Out onto his first flying lap, it's Jimmy Howard in the 37 machine. Always picks a yellow livery, does our Jimmy. Kind supporter of the league as well, through Dead Daddy Motorsport. Now, he would love to come third. The reason I say that, just so he can beat Adam Thompson, his fierce rival. Can he achieve it? He's going to need to get a bit closer to the wall than that if he wants to do so. He's finally listening, getting in there, getting close. But is it going to be good enough? Is it going to be good enough for him? As he comes around through turn 4. Using the just the camber of the corner there, just to try and give himself a little bit of acceleration, building the pace, building the speed on this opening lap. Well, it's always going to be green. It's the first flying lap, so that's good enough for 7th, and, well, he bails on it because the checkered flag is out. That is just done and dusted in qualifying the first round of the season. Let's take a little look through our grid here today. And, well, you can see it's Bobby Ross on pole. He's sharing the front row with Randall McGrew on the second row. Let's see, it's Thompson versus DiPiero. Sean Hayes, one of the newcomers to this league. Good to see him. He's qualifying 5th. He shares row 3 with Robert Schrenkler. Off the wrong stuff. Well, he is a bit of a wrong one, let's face it. No surprise there. It's all about the J's for your first name and the H for your second name in row 4. Jimmy Howard lines up alongside Jake Ham. Don't see that too often. In my commentating career, I don't think I've ever seen that before. First for everything here at XSLR. Kevin Irwin, well, he's got Camden Hibbett next to him to run out your 10-car grid. Who's going to take it? First round of the season. Of course, the rolling start, as always, in this league. Everyone lining up behind the safety car. Just waiting on a couple to head to the grid, and then we can head out racing. Of course, we take to Indianapolis next week. It is for the road circuit. They're alternating between road and oval here for this season. Something a little bit different. There'll be no dirt. Neither the road nor the dirt oval. It's always the dirt ovals that causes the well, it's great for us as third parties, you know, as viewers, as neutrals to watch along because it's always so entertaining, the dirt ovals. Drivers, on the other hand, they absolutely detest it. They always cause plenty of arguments and bickers, but hey, who cares when there's great action out on track? So we're just waiting for the last driver to take to the grid. There it is. This one, Mr. Jimmy Howard, out of California. A flash of lights there from someone in the background. So, who is going to take it? The first one of the season. So we get underway. Who's going to claim the first victory? Ross has got the first pole. Can he go all the way? 63 laps here from the Brickyard. Is it possible? Is it possible for him to do it? It's going to take a lot, isn't it? He's going to have to really dig deep. And he's going to need Lady Luck on his side too. And will that happen? Well, you can see all the virtual fans. They are there. They're on their feet, ready to see these Titans go at it. I get the feeling this is going to turn into a bit of a street fight here on the Oval of Indianapolis. Love to know your thoughts. I see so many of you been in the chats already. And sadly, this car disappearing from the World Endurance Championship is LMP2 for next season. They will remain at Le Mans, of course, Le Mans 24 hours. Just finished this afternoon. Congratulations to Ferrari winning in Hypercar, and it was Interpol Europe on the podium, well, the top step of the podium for the first time ever in the World Endurance Championship. And what a way to do it at Le Mans. That was in LMP2. One of their drivers, the Polish lad, absolutely in tears, absolutely in bits. So happy with what he'd managed to achieve. And of course, Ben Keating for Corvette, winning the GT class. Man out of Texas. And it's a string of car dealerships go racing. But, well, as we've got the safety car in, let's get ready to go racing for the first time this season, as we are green and we are go. And there's already people flashing lights in the background there. McGrew on the outside of Thompson. He's just going to try and slide it through on the inside here. Needs to play it safe for these early stages. But Ross already out into that lead. What can he build from here? We head down the back straight for the first time this evening. What a sound. Question is, who's going to take that first caution of the year? When's it going to come? What lap? Place your bets now, folks. Love to hear from you in chat as always. As Ross still holding on to this one out front. Starting to get harassed a little bit right now. Thompson tucked up just behind him. There's McGrew, DiPiero lying in fourth. Sean Hayes remains in fifth where he started. Just trying to pull out now. Just the mind games beginning from McGrew. Going to have a little look up the inside here into free and test the pair of them. Thompson pushing Ross, but all he's going to do is understeer out wide, and McGrew takes control here from the Brickyard. He's into first. Ross remains second, but just squeezed out wide there. Could well lose out to Thompson here. He's getting a good push there. That's DiPiero from behind him, just trying to push him along there. We need to be careful. These cars are really sensitive on their aero. Last thing you want is any aero damage. It will kill your race. So down from the drone. from the helicopter, apologies. Here's McGrew. And you see, just another vying for position up front right now. Let's take a bit of a ride on board with one of our drivers in the midfield and listen in. You see McGrew just moving up high there, just a bit of changing around right now. I'm on board with Robert Schenkler here in the Wrong Stuff Racing, so line 7th. That is Jimmy Howard, just to our left-hand side. You won't be able to see him. There he comes. Just jockeying for position right now. You see boxed in and a bit of contact there in front. That's between Hayes and Ham. They're just getting stuck into one another. Between these two Dallara LMP2s, of course, the LMP2 is available with different chassis. However, it's largely the Orica 07 that's become the popular chassis of choice, running the Gibson V8. Same engine that appear in the back of these cars. British made. Gotta love it. Gotta mention that. Gotta get in the Britishness about it. Oh, into the wall. That's a big one. And we're going to see our first caution. I think we may well do. Is collecting in the background there. That's Ham. And Irwin, the other one involved there. Wow, that was a big, big incident. Are we still racing? There is no yellow out. Amazing. Despite, well, that is dead for Kevin Irwin and Ham. Let's see if we can take a little look exactly how things unfolded. Let's take a look from the chopper. Oh, they're all jockeying for position, swaying wide. It was Ham, in fact. They just got down low. Let's see if we can get another angle from his perspective. Still trying to make his way back is Irwin. Our leaders carry on. Still no yellow. Amazingly. Surprisingly. That is 2 of them out. And, well, you can see Ham just pulling into the pit lane there. It's looking like his day is done and dusted. That is not in a good way whatsoever. Where is Irwin? Well, he's still fighting on somehow, some way, trying to get that car home. Might be better off taking the quick. So it has bunched the field up. Thompson and McGrew move wide. They've got 3 wide in the background there. That's between Hibbett, Howard, and Schenkler there. As Howard scrapes the wall on the outside. Schenkler now on the high side in front of Howard. Meanwhile, it's Hibbett who just slots it down the inside there. A bit of a clip of the grass from Schenkler. This is your battle currently being played out for 6th place. They're starting to lose track of Hayes and DiPiero in front of them. They need to be really, really careful of this one. Because if they lose the slipstream, lose the draft, then that is it. They are toast. They will struggle like mad to catch them. Meanwhile up front. Still all going on. Still as close as you like between our top 2 right now. Only a meager one. About 200ths of a second separating, but it's more about what's going on behind them. In the Hayes versus Bob race. I was going to say Bob Ross there. Oh, it's into the pits. That comes Howard. Well, lock up the brakes. Very, very, I mean, that's got to be damage base. That is way too early to be taking to pit row there. So he makes his way down. Oh, he's a long way down there. Well, either way, he stays pretty much in the middle. Meanwhile, back out to live pictures. And looking like a bit of a change for lead. McGrew just trying to jockey and maneuver around Thompson. Just working this move out while numerous corners in advance. To distract Thompson. Just try and throw him off the scent here. Pretty much the same's going on behind them too. You see that brilliant image. Still remaining pretty much as is. Only real change right now is Ross. Just losing that place to Di Piero. Apologies to Hayes even, as Di Piero took it right behind them. So he's Camden Hibbert. American up 4 places already this evening. What a picture, Sean Hayes. What a picture. Full on blue Power Ranger vibes going on there. Still line astern, this group looking into one another. And seeing Andrew Gillard there in the chat. Disappointed. Know what Santa's bringing you for Christmas? It's a new watch. Hey, still leading this group that they're incredibly, ferociously close right now. They've settled into the race here. Lap 12 out of 63. On top 2, they've really opened up that gap. Look, 2.5 seconds. That's into the pit lane. It's Howard again, and has he had another incident somewhere? Not too sure. Oh, but you can see, working into overtime now. Ross is pushing Hayes. I will not call him Bob Ross again. Starting to think about the tactics. They need to catch those two ahead. Otherwise, this will just turn out to be a 4-way fight for that last step on the podium in the first round of the season of XSLR, the Cross Series Racing League. Let's take a little look back. Back from Hayes, you can see how that's placed out. Interestingly, that's how close when you win a bump draft. That's how close you want to be getting right now. Di Piero trying to give Ross the hurry up. Having a bit of a look as well behind. Oh, need to be working together, not fighting against one another, this group. They are still dropping time to the top 2. Are working in absolute tandem to absolute perfection right now. Ross just moving up a bit high. You can hear from the engine just how that kills off the acceleration, kills off the performance. And oh, hello, who's that on the inside? Sean Hayes. Dropping time there, doesn't want to lead. Is this becoming all about a fuel save race? He's saying, I don't want to lead this group. I've punched a hole in the air for all of you enough now. It's one of you guys' turn. Disappointed by Schenkel. I've really dropped off the back of these guys. 1.6 seconds. That gap is just going to grow and grow and grow. As he has got no one to slipstream. As soon as you fall out of that gap, that is it. It is game over for you. If you've got nobody to slipstream with, you may as well park it. Go home early. I'm still amazed we had no yellow flag early on from that massive incident we saw between Ham and Irwin. Let's take another bit of a look back to it. Refresh our memories exactly what happened. See, Erwin just got squirrely and then bang! And that was all she wrote. Ross now ahead of this group, leading Di Piero. He's got that move done. He's four, starting to change it around. Di Piero now pushing Ross once again. That gap has grown even further. Look at that, 3.8 seconds. The top two clearing off by perfection personified from them. That's what Di Piero's doing to try and catch this gap up, pushing Bobby Ross, but it will not work. So meanwhile, up front, these two red-based liveries. Thompson and McGrew, and they've got that pushing, working out even better for the pair of them. Oh no, something's happened. Something has happened way down through the field. Let's take a little bit of a look. Oh no, that was earlier on. Now, also Hayes in the wall. Let's see if we can try and get you some better pictures of that one. Well, it looks like he's even missing his engine. That is one massive shunt that Sean Hayes has experienced there. Well, back up front, they're still going for it. Hammer and Tong. Let's take a little look at where they are out on track, and you see that's really just opening up, just visualizing it, nearly a whole corner ahead right now. You get the feeling that unless it all goes wrong, these two will be pushing each other to victory. But who's it going to be? Will it be McGrew? Will it be Thompson? Something's also happened to Irwin. Let's take a little look. See what happened to him. Oh, he's already in the wall there. Not Irwin's day at the races whatsoever. Now, the drivers do get 2 drop rounds. Let's not forget that. It's part of the rules in this league. So your lowest 2 point scoring rounds will not be counted towards your points tally. Let's not forget as well, prizes up for grabs as well, in the form of cold hard cash. Who doesn't love some dollars in their pocket? Well, I don't, because we deal with a far better currency, pound sterling. The best, the original. I just feel the knives going into back now for all of our American viewers. But see, Thompson still leads from McGrew as we reach lap 21, third race distance complete. Then it's this group behind Ross. There's, oh, hello, change for the lead here. Are they swapping around, or has McGrew just had enough of Thompson and already half a second off? Is that a mistake from Thompson? 6 tenths is the gap, and he needs to be careful because he's right on the cusp of falling out of draft range. Now, this may well play in the hands of Ross, Di Piero, and Hibbett, because with their working together, they could catch Jack up, but Thompson just about holds on. You can see the way he reins in down the start-finish straight. And that is how it worked. Just about holding on right now. Just. Not by much, but enough. So let's check in with our group further behind. They're a lot more orderly. A lot more working together going on there right now between our contingent for best of the rest. And let's see if we can try and get some more better pictures. Let's see a bit of a change in the system. Let's see if we can try and find out exactly. Nope, still can't work out what happened. Ah, there we go. Got collected by Erwin, and that's why he lost the engine. Well, I've never seen that before. And we can see as well just how McGrew took the lead here. Pulls out the draft and uses that overspeed into turn 3 to get the move done. Now, let's see if we can go a bit further back. So he's already in the wall there before he's made contact with. Starting to get a little bit loose. How much is tyre wear playing into the part of the story here for Indianapolis? You do have to wonder right now between these drivers, who's managed their tyres better? What is worrying is the pace of those top two is absolutely electric. 5.5 seconds nearly is what the gap is. As we are on to lap 26, about to head out onto DiPiero. As try as he might, he's been pushing Ross for so much of the race. You get the feeling almost like Ross is the cork in the bottle that's holding these guys up. Down the back straight away. And what has Hibbett got on his sleeve? Needs to have something. And you can just see it. When I talked earlier about dropping out of draft range, Schenkler, who only, some 8 laps ago was around about a second and a half behind these guys. Now he is fully out of draft range. He's been dropped like a stone. 4.1 seconds is the gap to the point of whereabouts. Let's have a little look. Whereabouts is Schenkler on track? So he's now nearly a third of a lap down on our leaders, and about a tenth of a lap down on this little contingent that we can see right here. Of course, oval racing synonymous with last lap dashes. It's been one of the more super speedway style ovals. You see the triple push going on there. Hibbett pushing DiPiero, who's pushing Ross, but as try as they might, they're like the wolf when he's trying to blow the house down that was made of bricks by the 3 little pigs. He blew and he blew and he blew, and he could not blow the house down. And right now, that is explaining exactly what's happening to that gap between these 3 and our top 2. 6 seconds, the gap. And falling away. Let's take a little look at what the drivers' top speeds are right now out on track. And you can see the difference there. Those 2 up front are pushing along at around about 10 miles an hour difference higher. Where are they finding that speed from? There's all DiPiero there, just losing a bit of touch, just getting a bit wide. Are those tyres starting to fall away from him? And Hibbett, for the first time, up into 4th place this evening. Also a bit of a change around up front. They've been swapping around again. Let's take a little look at what was happening up there. Agree. Well, exactly where he did it before. Into turn 3, gets the move done. It's almost like we're literally seeing a replay of what we saw earlier, and then pulls away with dramatic style. Now they are coming up on a back marker. Who is that they're coming up onto the back of? That will be Sean Hayes there. Now this is Hayes' chance to try and haul in and make some points, because around about just under a quarter of a lap ahead of him is Ham. Now those two are a couple of laps down, but if Hayes can play this one clever, hook into these two, and use them to carry him past Ham, he can start to try and unlap himself. He's one lap down on Ham. So that's an intriguing battle that could play out right now. I mean, despite Ham's woes, he is up one place. Still kept going. Points still up for grabs right now. But they see the way these two are just torn away. Once again, you do have to wonder. That car does not seem right of Sean Hayes. Of course, that big impact with Irwin, where he lost his engine. Due to the magic of sim racing. So we'll head for the pits. New fastest lap of the race there from Thompson. Last time around. And ever since then, Sean Hayes' car has not been right. He was on for a solid result here. He was locked in the battle for third between Ross Hibbett and Di Piero. You see they're nearly the length of the straight behind these top two. Two and a half miles long, exactly. 4 kilometers of pure high speed. And again, losing even more time. You want to see Camden? You asked for it. You got it. There he is. He's doing well. Is Camden Hibbett. He's climbed 6 places so far after starting on the back of the grid. Got a little bit lucky. He's managed to avoid some incidents, but some may call that luck, some may call it skill. Looking a little bit loose out of 3 there he is. Interesting to see what he can pull off this evening. He's been picking them off one by one, as mentioned earlier. With Hayes dropping out of that group after that incident that he had. Then, further back through the field, of course, just managed to pick off, so later on the race even, managed to pick off Di Piero, who has been swapping around with Ross quite a bit. But it feels like Di Piero is just maybe struggling with those tyres at this stage in the race. Just over half race distance now. Here from the Brickyard on slow motion broadcasting. Who has looked after their tyres? Who's conserved the most fuel? That is what we need to be asking ourselves right now, viewers. Because they will get the jump, and that's the only way that these guys are going to try and make up some time on those lead to 8.3 seconds is now the gap, and Di Piero looking here, but just leaving the door open there, showing him the inside, and you can see Di Piero feels like he's being held up by Hibbett. The man out of Florida spends a lot of his time down at Miami Homestead in his MX-5. Trying to put some of that real-world racecraft. They nearly make contact there. It is as close as you like between Hibbett and Di Piero. So we head into 4. And they're already straight up onto the back of Ross. And Di Piero, even have a look at a Ross, not content with 1 place. He wants 2 now. You can smell a bit of blood, but they're in a 3-car train, a 3-car push. And this is what they need. This is what they need to be achieving. Hibbett clearly not feeling the confidence to try and push Ross. Di Piero says, don't worry. Give it to me. I will do it. You push me as well if you can. But still, despite all the pushing, not making any progress, any form of dent into those guys ahead. So look at lap times here. You can see they're running what? That's about last time around. Look at that. Bobby Ross versus McGrew and Thompson. Well, we'll get some updated times there. So it was a second. They come across the line. That's a bit more like it, but it's still half a second slower. Right now, these guys will be thinking, what have McGrew and Thompson found? They found something within that car. It's giving them all of this pace at this stage of the race. I do wonder if it's better tyre compensation, but these guys have not really been too aggressive, to be fair. It all comes down to those micro inputs. Only fastest lap there from Thompson himself and McGrew trading those left, right and centre. The push from Hibbert on Di Piero. Di Piero just dropping back a little bit right now. See a beautiful evening here in Indianapolis. A few other venues on the planet can match this place's sense of history, spectacle, and sheer speed. It's been its hallmark since its early days. Of course, while the famous Indy 500, some may argue it might not quite pack the same punches as it did once upon a time in its heydays. Oh, into the pits. Here we go. Everyone's in. Right. Who has got what up their arsenal? So Ham is still going. Out on track. You see everyone pulling in right now. So Ham keeps going. I think Erwin's still out on track, so he's still giving this a go. Where has McGrew gone? They're all in, taking on fuel. Has anyone got the cars up on jacks? That's the big question. Thompson's out, so he's got the jump. He will take the lead. What's happened to McGrew? He's showing like being out. Something has happened here to McGrew. And I don't know. Because he's appearing as he's being out. Wow, this is fascinating stuff. Another twist to the tail, isn't it? That means Bobby Ross up into second. Di Pieri's into third. So he's being pushed by Hibbert. Now, this is where it gets interesting because this is the fight for the podium, but these two will push one another. So they will catch up onto Ross. Now, Thompson doesn't have anyone to slipstream with. Now, these two need to be clever about this. Forget about fighting. Just work together. You will catch the cars in front of you. You will catch Ross. You will catch Thompson. And then we'll have a four-way fight for victory here. And McGrew, well, what happened to Randall McGrew? That is what everyone's asking. The question on everyone's lips. See if we find someone. So there we go. The change around there. Hibbert and Di Piero. These two starting to work together now. We'll see from the top speeds of these drivers across the line. Get some indication of just what difference the draft is making each time around. Also throw up some last lap times too. Lots of data. Lots of lovely data on the screen. So 46.9 for Thompson, 46.6 for Thompson, 46.9 only for Hibbert, and a 47.1 for Di Piero. Oh, Di Piero's in the wall. And that's game over. That is game over, folks. Oh, it's all gone wrong for Jerry DiPiero. That's surely got to be carrying a lot of damage. Let's see if we can get some images through the static cameras. Exactly how that car looked. Oh, is it twitching there mid-corner? Coming out of 4. To the point of he's being caught dramatically. That's Rob Schenkler now up into 4th. DiPiero into the pits. McGrew has not left the pits, so still trying to find out exactly what happened there. So, I think I might have found it. Has he got done for speeding in the pits and then has just, well, given up? That's the only thing I can possibly think is exactly what's happened here. So it's all good there between himself and Thompson. Of course, a member of the legendary Adam Thompson fan club. Originally only had one fan member until Randall came along, and that was Adam himself, his biggest fan. So, right, expect the drivers to dip down to pit road now. Ah, it says to me speeding in the pits. Oh, and then he just disappears. How bizarre. Unless he gave it the good old F4. Ross has been caught by Camden Hibbett. Now, let's forget, Ross was... Well, there was quite a bit of a gap between himself and Hibbett. They weren't in draft range. Now, what do these two do? We've got 20 laps left remaining here from Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Do they elect to work together? They need to. They can catch Thompson. Maybe 8.7 seconds the gap. That's more than doable. It's half a second a lap. Not even that. And then you've still got plenty of laps to spare to pass him. See the sparks flying from the underside. That's Alara LMP to Ross. These two are pushing it now. They can sense a chance of victory here. Just push, just work together, boys. You will catch him. So, we are on lap 44. It's 8.6 seconds the gap. That has come down again, I'm sure. Let's take a little look. So, last lap times, it is coming down, but not by enough. 46.8, 46.7 for Ross and Hibbett, respectively. They need more. They need to dig deeper. They need to push. If they want to catch man out of Idaho. That's Indiana, isn't it? Apologies to everyone from Idaho. Don't want to be tarnished with that sort of name and person to your good fair state. And there we go. That's the connection we wanted to see. That's what needs to happen. Hibbett pushing Ross. Let's take a little look at the track map here and we can get a bit of an idea exactly how this is panning out right now. You can see it's coming down, this battle for first right now. The sun's starting to set here at the Brickyard. Ooh, catching the grass there, that's not what you want to do. And Hibbett has to take that slightly higher line, a slightly more compromised line there. There's, oh no, what? Ross, has he got damage? Well, that's going to nullify things, isn't it? He's got to have damage. Where did he pick it up, though? Was it when he clipped the curbing there? Or has he not put enough fuel in the car? Well, this is turning into a race of errors, isn't it? Well, he carries on out front. What is Ross doing right now? Let's have a look. So he's up on the jacks. Did he not take tyres? Is that what's hurt him? And now he's had to come in and say, do you know what? I cannot carry on anymore with these. They are shot. And he goes a lap down just to add insult to injury, rubbing salt into the wounds. And now out of nowhere, on his debut on the championship, oh, did he touch the wheel there? It's Camden Hibbert. But also, from the abyss, it's the Robert Schrenkler up onto the podium. A result he certainly did not see coming. Wow, just shows you I should keep going because McGrew has not got going again. So much so that Ham, Hayes and Irwin have got past him, despite being lapped down. Oh no, Schrenkler's in the wall. Oh, it's all gone wrong for him. It's all gone wrong. Oh, this is turning into a real race of attrition right now. What is happening here today? So, a lap down, after putting in the wall himself, guess who's back on the podium? It's this guy, Jerry DiPiero. The Floridian. Just working to see if we can try and bring you some pictures of exactly. Here we go. Looking down from the helicopter at Schrenkler. Is it a momentary lapse in concentration? Did it snap on him? A bit of disconnection. And he was into the wall. Well, folks. Well. This has ebbed and flowed. It's been like an accordion, hasn't it? Compressed, expanded, and everything in between. They've all played along to the merry dance to the tune Thompson's provided to them. Scintillating pace. Any recruit could match him. And Schrenkler is out of the car. That is another retirement. He joins McGrew and Howitt. This is the retirements. DiPiero now finds himself back on the podium. Ross is 4.5 seconds behind. Can he catch him? It's not out of the realms of possibility, and in fact he is. He's taking big chunks out of him. That is DiPiero in front of us. You can see the rate he's catching. So it was 4.5 seconds, now down to 3.2. He is hoovering DiPiero up now. He can sense a chance on the podium. You've got to give it everything you've got, Bobby Ross. You've got to give it everything you've got. I don't think he even necessarily has to. Because that gap is tumbling without him even trying. 2.3 seconds after only being, 2 laps ago, 4.5 seconds. Lap time differences between these two. Let's take a little look into that one. 46.9 for Ross last time around. Fastest man on the track. 48.9 for DiPiero. Who is DiPiero? Well, he's being pushed by Camden Hibbert, who's currently in second. And is Hibbert, now this is clever from Hibbert, he's using DiPiero as a tactical pawn to catch Thompson. Fascinating stuff being played out here in Indianapolis. This is not done and dusted right now. And with the pace that Ross is displaying, Hibbert is within a very long shot, but he's in with a shot, and it might just be enough to get up to the back of Thompson. He's going to need to pull out of him a big margin. It's going to need to be a second lap. I don't think he's going to do it. I don't think it's going to be enough. I don't think he's taken enough time out of him. Well, I can tell you, last time around, in fact, it was half a second slower than Thompson. Not looking good, but still not done and dusted here on the podium as Ross right now onto the back of Di Piero, who's just almost relinquishes it, moves to the inside. And says to Ross, come on past. Could hold you up, but oh, you can see the way it just washed out the front end there. Of course, the drop in aero, the aero wash from losing the air, moving over those wings and inlets, dive planes at the front of the car, meaning that when he came to turn in, there was no grip available to him. That's why he moved suddenly up the track. Whereas Ross coming charging through from the outside, also on the racing line. Di Piero really struggling now. He's by himself. Now, let's keep you up to date with what's happening up front. Is it closing? Is it shrinking that gap? Now, Hibbett did take a lot less fuel. At the tune of 4 seconds less he was stationary for compared to Thompson. Has he got enough fuel in that car? Are we going to see another dramatic turn here? Don't go anywhere because we are closing on the finish. 8 laps left to go. Well, Hibbett is out of the equation for the win. This is looking like Thompson's, but it's never quite say never, isn't it? So all it takes is one moment. And then, if Thompson puts it in the wall, it's game over for him. And then all of a sudden, his debut in the championship, Hibbett could take the victory. I mean, what a story that would be to tell. It'd definitely go down in XSLR folklore. Debut driver winning. Not just on a debut, also at Indianapolis, part of the Triple Crown. Following out, of course, with Le Mans that was on today. Monaco Grand Prix only on 2 weeks ago. Secure victory in all of those. There's only one driver who's ever managed to achieve it. So that gap between Thompson and Hibbett definitely expanding now. I think we're pretty much sorted in terms of positions. Thompson bringing this one home into victory. Did you know, because you know we will love a useless fact, the first event at the Indianapolis Speedway was not in fact a motor race. Might come as a bit of a shock, that. On the 5th of June 1909, more than 2 months before the oval was completed, a helium gas-filled balloon competition was held in the grounds. It was attended by a reported 40,000 people. 40,000 people. 9 balloons lifted off racing for the trophies. A balloon by the name of Universal City, that won the race that day, landing 382 miles away in Alabama after spending more than a day aloft. That's a lot. That's a lot of distance to cover in one day. I suppose, you know, it's not too bad. But even so, for a little balloon, make all its way from Indianapolis to Alabama. Tune in next week for more irrelevant, pointless facts here from myself, Tim Cox, on Slow Motion Broadcasting. Coming later in the season, why Knickerbocker at Alton Park is the best corner name in the world, period. Thompson bringing it home now. 4 to go here. What a way to start off your season with a victory. McGrew, such a shame for him. I know he wasn't looking forward to the oval sections, but he was flying here. I mean, worse, he would have been second, I would imagine. The pace that these two were showing was just purely sublime, scintillating, unmatched. Nobody could compete. And then a disconnect. Oh, it's into the pits. It's Hibbert. Has Hibbert had a moment out on track, or has he fueled it too short? I think it's the latter. Sony said earlier about how he was 4 seconds short compared to, well, a lot of the field. So he makes his way down pit road. Drama late on here. Now, Ross is 1 lap down. That's tyres. That is tyres that Hibbert is taking. See if we can get some better. There we go. Got the camera eventually. Yeah, the car's up on the jacks. Look at that. Now, where is Ross? So he is onto the same lap, and Ross could well take second place. Hibbert's on the exit, but he's got to get up to speed. Here comes Ross charging hard for second in the opening round of XSLR. There's Hibbert, and there goes Ross, and Ross is into second place. And Hibbert, there is nothing he can do about it whatsoever. There are some distant lights, and 2 seconds is the gap. Well, what a turn up for the books that was. I guess he's back on the lead lap. It's this guy. It's Jake Ham with a flash of the lights. Back onto the lead lap. Did you expect that? I didn't. Well, that's a turn up for the books. After, well, so early on, being in the wall, that car was destroyed in an incident involving himself and Kevin Irwin. And now, into fourth. What a performance. This just shows why you should never, ever give up, because you never quite know, do you? It's not over till the fat lady sings, as the phrase goes. In this case, now, XSLR's #1 flasher is in full force. As we are on to the final flap. White flag in the air, 1 lap left to go here from the Brickyard. And just bringing it home is Thompson. What's going to be the first victory of the season? He takes it in round 1 of season 6 of the XSLR Championship. Your winner, Adam Thompson. And having lapped the whole entire field, he takes victory. Second, that's going to be Bobby Ross. Well, nobody expected that one at all. The Camden Hibbert in the end, not far behind, close enough, but Ross was easing off. He comes home in third. And the man who never gave up, Jake Ham, he's going to secure fourth. Gets himself back on, well, it wasn't quite the lead lap. It was the same lap as second and third, Ross and Hibbert. He's well down at 25 seconds the gap. However, that doesn't matter. Does it really? Does it really matter? The fact he's come home in fourth, at 4 places from where he started, having been down and out at the early stages of the race here. Oh, wow. What a race here we have witnessed. What have we just witnessed? Absolutely fascinating stuff. Wow. Let's see if we can bring you up some classified results here from. That's all? Is everyone across the line? Yes, they are. It's time to cue the music. Adam Thompson takes a victory here from Indianapolis in round 1 of Season 6 of XSLR. Bobby Ross, 1 lap down, coming home second. Unexpected from him. Crazy, crazy stuff. Captain Hibbert, on his debut, secures a podium place in third. Jake Ham, man down and out, comes back to 4th. Give that man some love in the chat. Fantastic stuff. I know this definitely will be. It is officially full of hot air now. Thank you, Randall. Yes, damn right. Jake Ham, yes, as mentioned, Sean Hayes on his debut comes home in 5th place. Jerry DiPiero. It's all instant field. Retired the car. Actually, no. Yes, he did. He actually retired it. Kevin Irwin got back to the same lap with him, but could not. Well, not quite. Was at the line. But because of that, he finishes 7th. Everyone DiPiero spotted retired. Is 6th. Shenanigans. Say no more. Shane Clark, in the end, are going to be devastated. Looks good for a podium position. Stuck it in the wall. Retired 17 laps ago. Randall McGrew. Oh, Randy. Oh, Randy. Gutting for you. But just goes to show, even with your speeding penalty, you still probably would have got on the podium here today. Jimmy Howard retired the car all the way back on a lap 10. 53 laps ago. Yeah. Should we see if we can have a little bit of a chat to some drivers? Why not? Let's have a bit of a look, see who we can have a bit of a drag and have a little bit of a chin wag. I can see them all sat there waiting first up. Let's go and have a chat with our winner here today. Adam Thompson joins us in the broadcast booth now. The pace itself and Randall McGrew was showing today. But where did you find that one from? As much as you had a trio of pushing behind you between Hibbert, DiPiero, and Ross, they couldn't even touch you. Couldn't hold a candle to you.
Yeah, I don't really know where all that came from. I mean, I knew that if you hooked up with somebody, it was faster. I mean, it's the practice races we did. I know if you were hooked up with somebody behind the leaders, normally you could push and catch, the leaders. But yeah, I have no idea. I just kept looking at that gap, and it was getting bigger and bigger and bigger. I don't know if they were maybe trying to fuel save or if they were actually trying to get to us. But Tim, I have no idea, man.
Crazy scenes for definite. Debut. I mean, how you gutted or relieved when Randall gets done for speeding in the pits? I'll F4s it clearly, and victory's yours.
Well, I was gonna say that definitely took some pressure off when Randall came in, but he's not done yet. I don't think that guy is very speedy, very fast, especially on road courses. And he was really, I mean, it would have been a battle between us. We started playing a fuel mileage game there. I think I backed off and let him get ahead of me for about 10 laps before the pit stops, just to try to get back out in front. But who would have knows what would have happened if there was more than one car up there? Because I mean, come on, Tim, it's Indianapolis and we're in LMP2s, so yeah, it could have been a pretty good race. It sucks that you don't ever want to see somebody do that. I mean, it would have been a much better finish if Randall would not have, forgot to hit the brakes. But it's one of those things, and there's a reason there's 2 drop weeks now in XSLR. So I'm probably going to use one of them today.
Well, I think you definitely will. Well, congratulations, Victor, here today, Adam Thompson. Let's have a chat to second place man, Bobby Ross. Well, Bobby. I didn't see that one coming. Did you?
With the tires? Nah, to be honest, I didn't expect that to happen.
Well, and also then all of a sudden, full lap down, etc. And, well, all of a sudden, I'm sure you were spotted for your relative. There's Hibbert in the pitch. You're catching him. It's tumbling. And then all of a sudden, bam. You're going past him.
The dreaded meatball flag. You gotta hate it. Well, now I know for the rest of the races, especially with these type of tracks, probably when we go back to like Charlotte or something, definitely gotta go for tires no matter what. Because Adam said he went for front tires, and that's what saved us. That's what saved him tonight.
Well, definitely want to learn. That's his second place finisher, Bobby Ross. Now, next up on his debut. What a way to have a debut. Started from the back. Wasn't phased by that. Were you at all? Camden Hibbert now joins us. Congratulations. Wow, what a crazy race. I mean, just talk us through, especially that mid stage of the race. So, you get ahead of Di Piero. However, you couldn't really seem to, well, at least it came across from the commentary box. You couldn't really seem to stay onto the back of Ross. You seem to be struggling in that stage of the race.
Yeah, it was an interesting race. We were all struggling with tires, saving fuel a little bit. I was really hoping the caution would have came out at the early stage in the race to keep the field packed up, but it really became an endurance race after that, just trying to save tires and save fuel. But yeah, it was a fun race. It was a fun debut race. I don't know that I'll be able to make all of them this season, but I'll make as many as I can. But yeah, it was a really fun race. Glad I joined it, and looking forward to the next one at Indy.
Well, definitely. It'd be fascinating to see how you get on. Can you make it 2 podiums from 2? I mean, that'd be a cracking record, wouldn't it? But, well, congratulations, debutant Camden Hibbert, 3rd place. An incredible 7 places. Well, that's all we've got time for here today. Thank you very much for joining us and keeping us entertained with the chat. Anyway, keep you entertained with my random musings and random facts here from the Brickyard, though. It has been a scintillating race full of drama, full of energy, full of excitement, twists and turns to the story. What a way to kickstart your season. Make sure to tune in each week from Slow Motion Broadcasting for XSLR. I've been Tim Cox. Thank you very much for joining me. I'll see you soon. Take care.
Not so, Patrick. Do we describe this for everybody, Rob?
What?
You describe it. You describe it. I do enough talking.
What? I think any car's dead in iRacing. I think it's gone.
Oh, it's definitely. I agree. It's not going to survive much. But I still think we'll find opportunities to race it, just not as fruitful as before. Some of them just want to make. What's the thing? Like that guy wanted to make like dolls out of Tyler's hair, but then there's just other guys who are just like. He did. He would say weird things to Tyler, man. Like he was a strange guy. And then like other guys would just show up and he's like, "Oh, we never met you? Sure, come race this 24 with us." And then just jump in the car and wreck us out in a lap and be like, "Okay, never see you again."
Yeah, that was
okay. Well, better luck next year, I guess.
That was the guy from